My name is Warren Norgard, and I am the owner of Milkweed Arts in Phoenix, Arizona. As of recently, we're also the proud owners of Unique Glass Colors, an enamel brand that brings the largest palette of color to fused glass. I thought I'd introduce myself and take a moment to introduce you to one of our newest products, Drawing Fluid. Drawing Fluid is a pre-mixed liquid enamel that is specifically set for the applications that we're going to show you today. We launched Unique Glass Colors Drawing Fluid at the Las Vegas Glass Expo in 2025. It's currently available in 3 colors: dark blue, black, and warm brown. These are our first 3, and we are working on additional colors, which should be coming soon. But I thought I'd show you what they are and how they're great for drawing line or doing line work. So this is our brown drawing fluid. I'm going to open this up, and you can see that it's already in a liquid state. Now, over time, it may settle a little bit, but one of the reasons that we bottle it in these wide mouth jars is so that you can easily get in and stir the product. A lot of other products that we've seen on the market have very small openings for a wide bottle, making it really difficult to get in there and truly mix the product. So I'm just going to take my enameling spatula and just gently give it a good stir. If it's settling, I'll be able to feel it on the bottom of the jar. And once it's nicely mixed, you can take this out, just roll that off onto the side of the jar so I'm not wasting it. And then a nice paper towel will take the last bit of it off. And now this is ready for use. So we're going to show you applications using 4 different tools today. The first is our fluid writer. The second is a calligraphy pen or calligraphy nib. Third are traditional brushes. And lastly is a ruling pen. All of these are readily available both on our website and elsewhere. But we like to show you using tools that are very easy to find. Additionally, they're not a specialty tool. They don't require cartridges. They're not very expensive. So it's a really nice way to work with the materials. So first, this is a fluid writer. The fluid writer is really handy in the way that it applies. There's a reservoir here that allows you to add the liquid here. It will then come down this little stem and come out when it comes in contact with the glass. I usually start by just dipping it in a little bit of water and shaking that out. That just makes sure that I have some moisture in the stem when I first apply my drawing fluid. From there, I'm going to take some of the drawing fluid and just apply it right into the well of our nib. Don't need nearly as much as I'm putting in here, but you can see it will hold quite a bit. All I have to do is take it to the glass and draw. Just by applying a little bit of contact and holding at a slight angle, I can now move this very cleanly and get beautiful line work. If I go flatter, it's going to give me one line. If I go to slight tilt, it's going to give me a second line. Also, speed can change the weight of your line. Once I'm done with whatever line work I might be doing with this tool, I can tip it over, put the fluid hopefully back into the jar and not onto my glass like that. Put it back into the jar. For cleanup, I can just run water through this now. In the stem here, there's this this comes out and there's a very fine line there, which to make sure that it's empty, I can insert into the tip of the nib or the pen. And by inserting it a couple of times and pulling out, you could continue to do that until it comes out completely clear. And then you'll know there's nothing left in your pen and it's ready to store. Next up, we have our calligraphy pen. Most of you have worked with these in the past, but all I need to do is dip this into my ink, bring it out. I usually will draw across the top of it to pull any excess out, bring it down, and draw. You don't want to put too much pressure. If you press too hard, it opens it up. You can get a slightly wider line with a little bit more pressure or with a different nib. But if you open it too high, you run the risk of having whatever ink is sitting in here flood out into one big drop, and we don't want that. If you keep going, you can see I've got some line work here. I still have ink in the nib, so there's still more drawing line work that I can do. Our third option is to use traditional brush. This, for example, is Margot's Miracle Brush. Many of you who've worked with UGC before are probably familiar with this. Just going to dip it into the water so that it's a little bit moist. Then I can dip into my ink and I can apply line work. And the lines are going to be as thick or as thin as my pressure. So if I start very light and then go thicker, I can get thick and thin lines. Margot has much better luck than I do at getting the really, really fine lines out of this brush, which is why I go to her script liner. This is the 5/0 script liner. Got much finer end. And so with this, I can get those really fine lines. I'm trying to do line work with a brush. And again, even with this brush, I go light, I can get a very fine line, but I can press down and it will get wider. The last tool we're going to talk about today is the ruling pen. This is an older tool, older style of tool, used in a lot of drafting work and some other crafting areas. This tool works counter than you might think. So I'm going to dip this into my ink. And you can see that the ink flows into this cavity in the center. Now, when I go to draw with this right now, this is in a closed position. So if I try to draw, nothing happens. And we're not holding it this way with the screw up. We want to hold it to the side so we can see that ink. And if I loosen that screw just a little bit, now I get line work. I turn it to the screw up. Again, nothing's really happening. Turn it to the side. There we go. Turn it to the side. And it got some ink. I can tighten that a little bit to make my line a little bit thinner. Get some more ink in there. And I could keep going. Thinner and thinner till nothing wants to come out. I can also go really wide. And then when I dip, I'm going to get very wide lines. So if you're trying to create a design or a pattern and you want there to be a large outline for the pattern, this is a really nice way to get that. We can see the wider you go, the heavier it applies, the faster it runs through the pen. Put that back down. I would go off to the side because there's always a little dot. And you go back and get really thin lines again. All of the products that we've shown you today are available through uniqueglasscolors.com or through milkreadartsaz.com. If you have any other questions about the products, feel free to drop a note in the comments or reach out to us directly. Thank you.